But let's jump right into our next segment, my people. Next segment is also pretty interesting. I'm going to show you a video on screen, and then I'll lay out the details from what are we watching on these crazy video. So let's watch this. When you I don't know if you guys remember some of the latest live cast
Yes,
when I
yeah.
told you about what is happening in Chiapas. The ZLN, these guerrilla group, announced that Chiapas, or Mexico in general, is probably on the verge of a civil war. Why? Because you have a weird mix. You have these indigenous communities that some of them also became a cartel, the Cartel de los Chamula, the first and only indigenous cartel in Mexico right now. And then you have these drug trafficking organizations like Cartel Jalisco, Nueva Generación, headed by El Bencho, and the Cartel de Sinaloa, the El Mayo faction, operating in that area. Then you have a bunch of migrants and international mafias smuggling people from all over the world from the southern border into Mexico. Then you have major players pushing also precursors, fentanyl, and weapons from Europe or Asia or South America into Mexico through that border. So you have a lot of things happening here. But again, you also have this group called Los Ratones. This group is a cartel, but it's weird because it's a cartel working for hire for whoever wants to pay. They don't work on their own, like for their own benefit. They literally get hired by the Mexican government to be used as paramilitary killers, private companies, mostly mining companies, to run people out of sites, or drug cartels to fight on their side, right? So what we watched on that video was a heavy fight between basically people who were already displaced from their towns. Cartel Jalisco and Cartel de Sinaloa, they began pushing people out of their homes because they want to own that land. They say they are in fight between them, but they're targeting specifically indigenous communities to get rid of the people and own the land and probably make a deal with these private companies, mining companies, or even the Mexican government. These people, we're talking about like 200 people, mostly families, indigenous families, very poor, were hiding these warehouse in this small community in Chiapas when Los Ratones arrived, opening fire against all of them. Like they didn't even give a shit who were they killing. The small town is called Chenalo. It's one of the probably most impoverished communities in Chiapas, and they killed 7 innocent people. The rest of them managed to escape. Some of them were taken to be forcibly recruited. What they wanted, well, the reasons are unknown, but if you see the video, you can definitely watch that that was a site for mining. So they were hiding on a mining company. Probably some of them, or a very large amount of them, were employees by the mining company. Well, Los Ratones arrived all the way to that place to try to kill these people because they were hiding from the killers. Again, they're trying to get rid of all the people down there. And I think Mexico definitely can be on the verge of a civil war if this keeps happening, if they keep targeting these indigenous communities. These indigenous communities are innocent, right? They're very impoverished, they're very vulnerable. But again, they have the backing of the guerrilla group Ejército Zapatista de Liberación Nacional, which has a lot of reach and a lot of support from the international community. A lot of support from Italy or in other countries in Europe, a lot of support from US far left groups. So this could play out an interesting development in Mexico. If something like this happens, we're going to see a major bloodshed in Mexico. I really hope this doesn't happen, because imagine cartels siding up with the Mexican army, going against these guerrillas, and then these guerrillas getting backing from the international community and fighting back. This will be a no-win situation for anyone in that case.